Hey, how are ya? Well, okay, let's see. I guess I want to come up here. One of these days, I'm going to go live. Okay, I'm going to go live. I don't know when I'm going to go live, but one of these days, I am going to go live. Uh, and there's so much to talk about, you know. But anyway, as you know, I'm starting a little this. And I wanted to sort of talk about the Black Panther movie. Oh, and then, A Wrinkle in Time is coming up too. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow that it's in theaters, but I'm looking forward to that too. That seems like a really good one. But, with the Black Panther movie, now, guess what? I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen that movie yet. But I plan on it. When I wanted to see it, it was like it was all sold out. And so I didn't get to see it. But I'm going to get to see it. Uh, I'm excited about what the movie is doing and how it's inspiring people. And, uh, I guess, where do I start? Now, I've seen clips of it. I've seen clips of the movie, the little whatever, and hearing people talk about it. And it's like, wow, this is great. And the thing that I see is that it sort of seems like with the Black Panther movie, it's sort of, and especially for young people, it's like, how sometimes you just want people to wake up, just wake up and see. Uh, but but anyway, especially for young people, because see, the Black Panther movie sort of does, even though it's sort of like, I don't know if it's sort of like futuristic, but it has to do with the past, in my opinion. Okay, but what it does is, for too long, for so long, and I don't understand it, for so long, in schools and everything, it's like, all they teach about Black history is the slavery part. That's all that they teach when it comes to Black history. That's all that that kids are taught about slavery. This is your history. You were a slave. You're a slave. Your ancestors were slaves. And that's far from the truth. Okay, so to me, it's like, hopefully, finally, hopefully, the truth will come out. Okay, the truth is going to come up. We're going to begin to understand. Because right now it's sort of like, it sort of seems like Black History Month every February. Okay, uh, you know, they go through this slave and all the people from that era, and that's good. We need to know that. But what about all the other stuff? And see, with the Black Panther and the King of Wakanda and all of that, you know those are things. Even though it's not, I mean, Wakanda isn't a real place in Africa and all of that, but the truth is that there was a time, basically, when things like that did happen. I mean, of course, except for the magic part and everything. But let's say, sort of like with how do I say this? When we look at, okay, when we look in history, right? And when it comes to, hold on, I'm putting this thing on. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Can you hear me better now? Maybe you can hear me better now. I don't know. But when it comes to Black history, now, have you ever wondered why blackness, that's the word I'm going to use, blackness. The discrimination, the racial injustice and all of that, that's not just an American thing. That's not just an American thing. That doesn't just happen. It's not just in America. Okay, this is something that is all around the world. Blackness. Blackness is ostracized basically all around the world. And I mean, hasn't anyone ever wondered about that? Excuse me, why it's all around the world. Blackness. Okay, and I don't know what other word to use. Okay. I'm nosy. Well, not really. I just see I have the window right there. So anyway, right? Blackness is ostracized all around the world. And when we look at, so like I said, it's not just in America, it's all around the world. So when we look at, now, and I'm going to use the country of India as an example, right? I'm going to use the country of India. Now, in the country of India, they have like a caste system. That's what it's called, where, like, and all different cultures, take note now, in all different cultures, there's there's the lighter people, and then there's the ones that are kind of a little darker. And this is in a lot of cultures and a lot of different countries. You never ever notice, like, there's people in India, there's the lighter Indians, and then there's the darker ones. There's really dark Indians, okay? And in their caste system, the darker Indians are treated differently. They are ostracized, okay? Have you ever wondered why? Okay, now, like I said, this is all around the world. And so, in all different countries, Rome and Italy, China, all over, I don't care where you go, okay, blackness is ostracized, okay, in a lot of different cultures. Okay, so it's not just an American thing where blackness is ostracized. Okay, so, so that's why, when it comes to looking into your history, right now, like in America, it's sort of taught, basically it's taught that this is your history. Your history stops at slavery, where the beginning of slavery, where they was brought over in ships. Okay, but if we look further back in the history, which will give us an understanding as to why blackness is ostracized. Okay, and basically it's because back then, like 13th, 14th century, okay, there were many powerful black conquerors from Africa. Okay, and then you got to learn, how did Africa get its name? Africana. You got to, study that stuff. And, one name comes to mind. Okay, I mean, there's been several, like they, from Africa, they went into India, okay? They went into Europe. You understand? Okay, and of course, you know that's how they did. They packed their stuff up. Everyone left, went over here, you know, and they said, oh, you know, they get the, oh, I like this spot, you know, and then the people from around, oh, wait a minute, you can't have this spot. Oh, yes, we can have this spot. Then, you know, they duke it out, and you know, and they stayed there, you know, different places, and so. Okay, that's how you get that blackness all around the world. Okay, because there was, you know, there were very powerful men of war, conquerors that went in and built kingdoms and cities and stuff like that that they don't tell you about. Okay, now the name that comes to mind is Hannibal. Hannibal Barca. Hannibal Barca. But let me tell you something. If you look up, let's say if you Google Hannibal, do you know what's going to come up? You know what's going to come up if you just put Hannibal in there? Remember that movie, Hannibal Lecter? Hannibal Lecter. Or Lectus, one of those. I forget the man's name. Anthony. I forget his name, but he's a really good actor, really good actor, and he plays Hannibal Lecter, this really smart genius that gets away and he kills these people and he eats their brains and stuff like that. Okay, that's what's gonna come up. Okay. You know, unless you know the name, you know, it might not, nothing about that will come up. Okay, but that's a part of Black history. Okay, and that will explain. So, you know, so with Black Panther, with the movie Black Panther, it's sort of like, to me, it's giving people a new look. You know, let's take a fresh look at this stuff. Okay, because for too long, you've been looking at us, and all you telling us, or all we know, is that, you know, we came from slaves and we were beat and raped and couldn't have anything, you know, and that's not the total of Black history. Okay, and you know, and it's not about a black or white thing. That's not what it's about. It's not about you know, and it's not black against white. It's none of that. You know, because really, you know, in America at least, you know, that's not what it's about. Because when we look at that, you know, I was talking to my son one day. We were talking about, you know, racial stuff and discrimination and, you know, how to look at things. And so, you know, I wanted to make sure that, you know, he didn't, you know, develop any, you know, negative visions, you know, about things. And so what he said to me, I forgot exactly what I said to him because I'd be saying so much. But, you know, he's a smart kid too. So what he said is, he said, no. He said, first of all, he said, white people fought a whole war against white people for black people. I was like, oh my God, my son is so smart. He's so wise and intelligent. You know? So I was like, yeah, go ahead, boy. So, you know, so it's not about, you know, Black Panther, you know, the movie, it's not about that, but maybe the creator of Black Panther in the first place, maybe he knew that, you know. So telling the story, telling the story that way, you know. Uh, oops, hold on. I'll just have to reject that call. But yeah, so you know, so I am very excited for the children of today, because hopefully now we can take a fresh look at how we proceed from here on out. You know, hopefully now the truth about our history, about, you know, the history of Black people will come to light more, okay? Because, you know, there was a time, you know, okay, just like Egyptians, they're Black people. You know, they were kings and queens and all of that. They're very prosperous. You know, some of us have ancestry from there. Okay, uh, if you read in the Bible, if you read in the Bible, okay, even there, you will find that, you know, when the Bible talks about different peoples, you know, different cultures, you know, the Chaldeans, the Babylonians, the Hittites, the Philistines, and a whole bunch of other things. But some of them were Black. Some of those people were Black. Okay, and you know, so where's the history? Where, you know, so and the Bible is a book of history. Not just a book, I mean, it's a book about God, it's a book about history, it's a book about science, it's a book about law, okay? It's you know, it's a book of art. So anyway, I just wanted to sort of, you know, say that about the Black history, about the movie The Black Panther. I am looking forward to getting to see it soon, and you know, I'm really happy for the kids of today, that hopefully, like I said, we can all now take a fresh look at, you know, at how we proceed from here, and what we've been doing, okay, and how it's affected our children, and how these children are saying, no, 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 okay, you know, and so, but the thing is, and this is not some type of futuristic thing. Okay, really, the like, sort of like with the movie, some of that stuff has already happened, where you had to fight and for the good, and that's already happened back then. So we don't have to pretend that, oh, this is something new, this is something that you know, helps children, you know, to inspire them. Yes, it inspires them, but not because it's something new. You know, we need to stop acting like, oh, this is something new, because it is not. It is not anything new. Okay, the stuff like that already happened. Okay, you know, and so, you know, moving forward, you know, to know that, you know, I mean, I guess it encourages people to, you know, be the power for the good. So anyway, take care.